Hi. Today we're going to be talking about Byron's Manfred, which is a closet drama, kind of 19th century precursor to the novel. The idea at the time was that you would read this drama and imagine all of the actions taking place. As you might imagine, during the 19th century, the special effects weren't all that special. And so a lot of these effects are things that you would have to imagine. Characters appearing or transforming or disappearing. In a contemporary movie, those wouldn't be too difficult of effects to achieve, but at the time they were completely impossible to stage in a believable way. Manfred is a Faustian tale. Manfred himself is very clearly influenced by Faust, and Goethe's Faust in particular. He's a character who is obsessed with his lost love, and who feels very guilty about her death. We never really find out how she died or why she died or even who she really was. But Manfred is determined to either forget her, to be reunited with her, or to be forgiven by her. And failing this, he just wants to die. Now, if you think about it, it's a very kind of emo way of looking at the universe. But Manfred is a little bit different than what we might expect. First of all, he's a powerful wizard. He can summon up all these spirits and compel them to his will. And the fact that he doesn't get what he wants, the problem isn't that he's not powerful. The problem is that the universe is set up in a kind of unfair way that he just can't compel them to do what he wants because they don't have the power to do it. When he's confronted by various authority figures, the abbot, the demons, some of the spirits, his response is essentially to tell them to go to hell, which he literally does with the demons. The various sort of powers that be, if they're not willing to sort of give him what they want, he doesn't really want to have anything to do with them. And if you think about that, that's a very aheroic kind of way of going through the universe, which is one of the reasons that Manfred is an anti-hero. Now, in a contemporary sort of treatment of the anti-hero, you're much more likely to see characters like Riddick from the Chronicles of Riddick, who are just genuine badasses who go and do what they want when they want. Or Hannibal Lecter in novels like Tom Harris's Hannibal, who are evil to the core, but are the kind of evil we like. And generally don't do bad things to good people, but do bad things to bad people. Manfred isn't particularly anti-heroic in that sense, but he's anti-heroic in that he's not really trying to do anything that helps anyone else out. Manfred is obsessed with Manfred. And when he dies at the end of the play, you'll notice that the abbot, the closing lines of the play are, "He's gone, his soul hath taken its earthless flight. Whither I dread to think, but he is gone." The idea here is that Manfred kind of escapes and dies on his own terms. If he can't have these things he wants, then he's going to take his ball and go home. If we look at some of the other fantasy anti-heroes that we talked about in this unit, we see this sort of selfishness and this anti-authority kind of image and theme running as a common current in all of them. And this goes back to sort of the quintessential anti-hero, Lucifer in Milton's Paradise Lost. Next week we'll be talking about humorous fantasy. I'll talk to you then.